with the prisoner swap.
Americans wrongfully detained for years in Iran.
Coronado version. Thank you for the 25
US.
gifted.
In fact, their plane landed just this morning at Fort Belvoir in Virginia. That's near Washington. After months of secret negotiations to make this happen. The group includes 2 businessmen, an environmentalist, and a former UN worker. Chief Foreign Affairs correspondent Margaret Brennan looks now at how this deal came together.
I don't get what's happening with the 2 people. Now we know the name of another person. Yeah, the shadow people.
Just before dawn, the 5 newly freed Americans touched down today on U.S. soil.
It means that husbands and wives, fathers and children, grandparents can hug each other again.
Businessman Imad Shargi and environmentalist Murad Tabaz have...
I think because these guys are also like Iranian, that's another reason why the conservatives have no issue just being like, fuck the American government for getting these guys back. You know what I mean? Because, like, I feel like if they were white, you know, bright white, you know what I'm saying? If they were, like, super fucking white and their names were, like, Steven and Hank and they were negotiating to get them back, like, the Republican Party would have a harder time being like, fuck the Biden administration for doing this. Fuck you guys. You know what I mean? Like, they were going to do that anyway because, you know, no matter what Brandon does, it's bad, right? Brandon bad. But they will say, like, oh, you negotiated with terrorists. Fuck you for doing that. Fuck you for, you know, giving them $6 billion. And it's like, well, it was their $6 billion. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird that it's like Iran's own $6 billion. The fact that, like, South Korea just, like, bought oil from them and then just didn't pay them because America was like, don't pay these guys. Well, that doesn't change anything, you know? They should have swapped me in. I want to visit Iran so badly. Brother, I feel like if you go as an American citizen, you could just, like, kind of stay there forever. It seems like they'll keep you. I too want to go to Iran as well. I feel like Iran is very nice. Not the government, but, you know, the people are sick. The country is dope. Kind of shitty. What is this?
Political Propaganda 101 explained. Let's go.
5 Americans illegally detained by Iran are scheduled for release. They're about to come home.
But you don't seem to talk about the 2 that you left behind to be executed.
Wait, what? Family of U.S. resident jailed in Iran outraged over prisoner swap? Oh, no. They didn't get everybody back. Those expressing outrage include the family of Jamshid Sharmat, a prisoner who was not included in the deal. The German Iranian, who also has U.S. residency, was kidnapped in Dubai and sentenced to charges of corruption of earth. Well, I think he's German. That's why. Dude, America does not give a fuck, dude. Look at Jamal Khashoggi. He was Saudi and American. And they were like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, the Saudi government chopped him up. It's fine. What is corruption of earth? What is happening in Iran? Why do they have so many, like, insane kind of cool charges? You know what I mean? Corruption of earth? What the fuck does that mean?
Broke today that the Biden administration is taking steps to allow for the release of about $6 billion in Iranian money.
Iranian money. You see, that language is cleverly used, but you're not actually giving it back to the Iranian people, are you? You're giving it to the terrorists that they're trying to collapse, not enrich.
Now, doing deals with an adversary like Iran is...
Okay, first of all, I don't agree with that part. It's like, it's their money. What do you mean? Like, what? They're not... The fuck? It's just their money. Like, that part I don't understand. When people are like, oh, I can't believe you're giving money to Iran. It's like, yeah, like, but it's their money. You know what I mean? If you get that charge, they are going to execute you. So what is that charge? I don't even know what that charge is.
Always unsavory.
Doing deals with terrorists doesn't sound as good, does it? And that's how you lose.
Cutting deals with terrorists doesn't sound good. Yeah, well, Of course, they designated the entire nation of Iran as terrorists. What are you going to do? Okay, so it's called Mofsed-e Filars or Fased al-Fel-Ars. What is this? Corruption or the title of capital crimes the person is guilty of them in Iran, which have been translated to the English language as spreading corruption on earth, spreading corruption that threatens the political well-being, corrupt of the earth, one who is charged with spreading corruption, gross offenders of the moral order, and enemies of God on earth. Okay, that one seems kind of sick. That's kind of a fire thing. Like, this man is the enemy of God on earth. Is like, that goes fucking hard. I guess it means just a cat. Oh, God. It's such a lame thing, though. But I guess it's if it's just for, like, an indictment of political dissent, then that sucks. You know what I mean? It's like, it's literally the lamest fucking thing with the maximum penalty and the maximum charge. Spreading misinformation on the internet. It goes really hard until you hear that from an Iranian police officer. Brother, I am not going to Iran, so I will not be hearing that from an Iranian police officer at any point, I think. But it says in the criminal code, in 1996, they were adopted. Some changes were made in 2012. Oh, they had... We love criminal justice reform, don't we, folks? Okay. Article 284 of the codes is dedicated to Baghi armed rebellion and Afsad-e Fil-Ars and was revived by the broadening of those who may be punished by execution. Subject to execution includes whoever engages extensively in commission of widespread crime against masses, crimes against homeland or external security, spreading rumors, and or uttering slander. Wait. What the fuck? Bro. Yo. Okay, I'm kind of down for this. Dude. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you slandering me on Twitter? It's time for some Mufsid-e Fil-Ars for you. You know what I mean? Your R's is about to get fucking locked up. Spreading hazardous or poisonous substances, financial malfeasance in the affairs of the state, establishing brothels or involvement in their operation, causing extensive disturbance in public order. Dude, I'm canceling Iran for being anti-sex work. Causing security. By the way, this is everything. This literally is like, this is like the meme, the Venezuela meme from Parks and Recreation. It's like, it's basically everything that you can do, like all the fun stuff. You know what I mean? Spreading rumors, doing slander, you're dead. Okay? Causing security risks, spreading hazardous or poisonous substances, you're dead. Anyway. Mehmet Walshoğlu. You're such a fucking idiot. Having a Turkish guy who named himself Mehmet Walshoğlu is just like, if you're Turkish, you shouldn't know about Matt Walsh, okay? Like, you should not know who Matt Walsh is. You're Turkish. This is like extremely online American shit, okay? Why the fuck do you know about... Dude, I'm not Turkish, brother. Oh, why the fuck why'd you name yourself Mehmet Walshoğlu then? Brother, you think this is wild? Salam baradan man Irani hastam. Oh. Yes, I'm an Ameribu like you. Brother, you think this is wild? I was detained by the Iranian police once. They just arrest you for bad vibes, man. I'm dead serious. Because I love the name, man. That is like, your brain is so fucking broken, dude. I'm sorry. Your brain is so fucking broken. Motherfucker's name is Mehmet Walshoğlu, who he's like, he cares about what's going on in like the intricacies of American politics. Anyway, so, brother, you've made Mehmet Walshoğlu jokes before. I know, it's just still funny to see someone who's not American, I guess, have that name. So that's wild. The charges are pretty wild. I mean, they seem pretty sick. Like they seem like a very cool name for something that just means like something that ranges from like poisoning people to just lying. I feel like there should be different punishments, or at least like a different criminal code for each of those individual acts. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, did you lie, or did you? They look up the criminal code and they're like, it says here that you may have lied or spread hazardous material to the public to kill them. You know what I mean? Okay.
Who's your audience?
But Joe Biden is making the release of American hostages a priority. That's a good thing.
Joe Biden, okay, so he is introduced here as a savior in this language, is making the release of American hostages a priority. That's interesting because some of these hostages have been there since 2015 when you had the last nuclear deal, and nobody seems to have cared about them until now when it's time to have the next nuclear.
Like, what does she want? Does she want, like, America to not facilitate a denuclearization deal with Iran? Like, I don't understand this part. Like, what the fuck's happening here? Okay, I don't care about this. Let's just watch the actual propaganda.
Been prisoners since 2018, held on what the U.S. considers trumped-up charges. Shargi's family said his freedom meant it.
Yeah, the Iranians that we had, though, in America, not trumped-up charges. Like, one of those guys was arrested for selling or trying to send laboratory equipment, okay? Which is also insane. I'm not saying these guys are like definitely agents and that's why it was totally morally just for them to be apprehended by the Iranian government, okay? I'm not saying that at all. I feel like at this point, Iran is just like, oh, are you an American citizen? Oh, cool, okay, well, you know, maybe you should come with us for a little bit. Let's see. People 100% say this is bullshit because they're Iranian American and not American American. I think that's part of it, yeah. There are certain wealthy Iranians who would literally rather have Iran nuked than have the existing government continue. Yeah, I mean, I know that there's like a lot of people who are like, they do the classic, like, my people yearn for freedom. Please, we must nuke Iran. But overall, what the fuck? Overall, it's like, it's just these guys get caught up in this scheme as a political pawn.
It was the first time in years that they felt light in their homes. 3 other American prisoners and 2 family members accompanied them Monday on a Qatar Airways flight for Doha, where they were handed over to U.S. custody. For 51-year-old businessman Siamak Namazi, that
Here's the thing, bro. I'm not going to Iran unless, like, the government is, you know, 100% giving me assurances and I'm going as, like an envoy or something, okay? Like, let's be fucking real. There's no, like, tourism opportunity happening for me there, okay? As much as I would love to, it's another place. And I would say the same about China, too, okay? Straight up. I love China. Would love to visit. Definitely want to go to China, but I am not fucking going unless I have, like, 1, a visa, and 2, I'm going with, like, people that know what the fuck is up and have at least some level of, like, you know, political power. Anthony Bourdain went to both, yeah, but it's a little bit different. You'd be fine in China with the fuck law. I just don't want to. I don't want to. You know, I've said some stuff about Xinjiang that I worry will reach the wrong. Jake is in China right now chilling. Yeah, I'm not saying it's the same. I'm a different person, okay? Hello? I'm a little bit different than Jake and Bake Live as far as, like, commentary and shit goes. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different. I don't understand why the Chinese tourism department give people like you free trips to China is good promo. I think so. It's insane that you think they would arrest an American citizen for their speech. I don't think they would. From what I understand, I've talked to a lot of people. And they say that it's just like if something is flagged, they just won't give you a visa. You know what I mean? There's no like issue with you like going to China and being apprehended or anything, but you know, it's just like they just won't offer you a visa. Like you can go to the Chinese embassy and try to get a visa, and if they say no, that means you can't go. There's someone in the chat named Trap Advisor, and he says you should definitely not go. What? You need to show them how to speak truth about Shen Yun. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna go to fucking relax. Literally, no one in China knows anything about you. They would definitely arrest Dr. Disrespect before you. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I'd be a little bit concerned as well. I wanted to give like a. I would just be concerned. That's it's not to the same degree.
Flight ended an 8-year ordeal.
And it's, a day for celebration. But tomorrow begins the rest of his life. And it's going to be a long journey towards recovery.
In exchange for the release, President Biden granted 5 Iranian nationals clemency. 2 were turned to open-stretched arms of loved ones in Tehran late Monday. 2 remained in the U.S., and a 5th joined family in another country, according to Iranian officials. In addition, the regime will have access to $6 billion worth of unfrozen Iranian oil assets held in a restricted account in Qatar.
But that's my biggest problem, is not that the Americans are coming home, is that now elements all over the world realize we can get something in exchange for Americans. Let's take some.
The Biden administration...
No, that's not the case at all. Most of these countries are understandably fucking terrified of the American government, and they're not going to also disrupt the economic process that they have, especially if they're engaging with the United States of America, China included. Okay? So that is an insane take. Iran, on the other hand, is not a country that has any relations with the United States of America. And that is not entirely their fault. I think that is entirely America's fault. I will stand by that. As much as I criticize the Iranian government as much as I can from fucking where I'm standing, who the fuck cares? You know what I mean? Oh my God, they're a theocracy. They're authoritarian. They're corrupt. It's like, yeah, no shit. They're reactionary. I get it. But it's entirely in the hands of the United States to normalize these relations. We've done it before. And yet, it's great to have them as like this permanent enemy, especially because they're not even our enemy. They're the enemy of our allies, okay? Israel and Saudi Arabia, to name 2 of our major allies in the region. That's the most frustrating aspect of this, because Iran has quite literally been duking it out with Sunni extremists in the region for the longest fucking time, okay? Also, at times when there were major embargoes and blockades implemented on Iran, it's not like America wasn't allowing them to participate in the global marketplace. They were just utilizing Turkey as the country to allow them to participate in the global marketplace. They would just like traffic their trade through Turkish routes so that, it wasn't directly allowed, but it was like happening through Turkey. Which is great, because then you can just like you can use that always as a criminal prosecution against the Turkish government as well. So I don't know. It's stupid. It's silly. Like, normalize relations with Iran, okay?
Administration insists the U.S. Treasury will be able to ensure the funds are only used for humanitarian purposes like food and medicine.
We have the means and mechanisms to make sure that happens.
The next stop for the freed Americans is a U.S. military facility in the D.C. area for medical support to prepare them to once again be free persons. For CBS Mornings, I'm Margaret Brennan in Washington.